if you just pressure him, wait for it, he sucks.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We told you we were going to be back, and we're back here on Monday night for you because every single thing this week is really important. This is one of the top 3 games of the entire year for Georgia. Alabama week is upon us. Daniel, I'll be with you every single day and giving you bonus episodes all the way throughout, like today's, in which we're talking about one Ty Simpson. We'll talk tomorrow on the podcast about how impressed we've been with Ty, how this offensive system with the new OC, NFL ready, is just like Joey Aguilar in Tennessee and Josh Heupel. You get the right guy that can run your system, you're a problem for people. He can be a problem. But there's one particular case, Daniel, that isn't so much he's a problem for defenses, but rather defenses are a major problem for Ty Simpson.
Yeah, that's right. Ty Simpson on the young season he's honestly playing really well. Okay. Like Ty Simpson's completing 72% of his passes. He's thrown for 862 yards. He's thrown for 9 touchdowns. And he's got 45 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown on the season. Those are gaudy numbers, Clint. I just told you in 3 games he's thrown for almost 900 yards and completing 72% of his passes.
Not great with math, but that seems to be close to 300 yards per game.
Normally high. So here's the thing about Ty Simpson. He is a marked improvement over Jalen Milroe, the guy that NFL scouts rightly recognize cannot throw a forward pass.
They can't.
But they invited him to that NFL green room, Clint, I'll tell you that. And whoever told him to go, shame on them. Shame on them. But Ty Simpson having a good year so far. The one area where you can't help but notice that Ty Simpson really struggles. And I would say it was the story of the game. If it weren't for Tommy Castellanos' unbelievable performance backing up all the trash he talked, this would have been the story of the game in Alabama FSU. The story of the game was Alabama's defense, or FSU's defensive front, was constantly in the backfield, Clint. Alabama's sure thing first-round draft pick left tackle, who I'm told is among the best in all of college football,
what I was told,
could not lay a finger on a Florida State defensive end. Florida State was in the backfield the entire game. And when the pocket started to get a little dirty, Clint,
what happened?
What we saw from Ty Simpson is he went ahead and freaked out. I'm talking about happy feet. I'm talking about he didn't know which way he was looking. I'm talking about reading the defense was completely out the window. And all of a sudden, he went from a very good quarterback, accurate passer, big-time threat to move the ball down the field, to a certified liability for his own team. Looked like he was a lost puppy who had no idea what to do with a football. He struggles
big time
when he's under pressure.
It's not even close. You could see it in a body language. You could see it in the type of game that Alabama even calls. They know he's a liability, Daniel. Like, this offense is trying to protect him. And this just in, he's been good so far, and his wide receivers have bailed him out because, they've had a couple of injuries at running back because their running game sucks. Not helping Ty Simpson. We're going to come back to this. We're going to talk about more how he caves under pressure. But first, these. We'll let you know about the game cap. They're fantastic, and you love retro-style game caps. I know you do. They look fantastic. Vintage decals that look like everything else that you remember from the 80s and 90s right now over at the game cap. They're not just hats. They're the same vintage styles were back in the 80s and 90s. Guess what? They look even great as the prices back then. Use the promo code LOCKEDON. You'll get your vintage hat for $16.99. head to thegamecaps.com. Thegamecaps.com. Grab your team's classic bar retro circle design. Use promo code Locked On for an exclusive discount because legends wear the game. But that's not it, Daniel. As well as that, we have FanDuel. Our friends over at FanDuel are fantastic. You need to get over there right now because with a $5 bet, if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets. It's quick. It's easy. Best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. NFL season's here. FanDuel is making you right with can't miss offers. Ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
Now, if you are a Georgia fan and you've heard me talk about how Ty Simpson struggles against the pressure, against the blitz, when he's under pressure, when the pocket's collapsing, then you are likely salivating. But Clint.
Yeah.
If I may.
You can, because it's important.
Georgia's really struggled with a pass rush this year. I'm talking about really, really struggled. All right? You look at a statistic like sack rate. Okay, right now the number one team in the country is Oklahoma in terms of their sack rate. I'm going to come back to them in just a bit. But just to give you a frame of reference, they are sacking the quarterback over 15% of the offensive snaps that they face. They are sacking the quarterback. Georgia is 127th in the nation, Clint. I will say it again. Georgia, your University of Georgia, Georgia fans, is 127th in the nation in sack rate, sacking the opponent's quarterback at just over 1% of the snaps that they face. 1 out of 100.
Daniel?
It's not good at all. Here's what I saw. Oklahoma-Auburn game on Saturday, okay? We didn't talk much about this game. It's relevant to everybody. Oklahoma, Alabama fans, if you remember, is the team that held you to 3 points last year. And Auburn is your rival. So it's a relevant conversation. Oklahoma was getting home against Jackson Arnold and the Auburn offensive line, but they were doing it with a 4-man rush. Clint. They were doing it with just their D line. They were not bringing extra guys. They were not running any sort of exotics. They were just beating people off the line of scrimmage, whipping people physically, and getting into the backfield. Clint, I haven't seen it at all from this Georgia team. I have really liked what I've seen in terms of the physicality up front from our defensive line, right? Kristen Miller, Jordan Hall, Big Joe. I've liked what I've seen out of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any pass rush. Gabe Harris, I'm not seeing any pass rush. I'm just not seeing guys win up front and consistently get into the backfield. This is how you slow down Ty Simpson. And if we have to bring extra guys in the pass rush, Clint.
Yeah.
I don't feel great about our ability to cover on the back end. You want to be able to pressure the quarterback, collapse the pocket without bringing extra guys, which means somebody's got to win up front.
Yeah.
And I am very curious who you think is going to be that guy who's going to win up front if Georgia fans are going to have any hope of putting any pressure on Ty Simpson.
Look, the pressure packages have been there in the form of maybe I should say this. Let me give you context of why I'm about to say the pressure has been there. First couple of games, the passing attack was non-existent. Marshall came in and had mobile quarterbacks and did not want to pass the ball at all. Austin Peay did not want to pass the ball at all. Tennessee did want to pass the ball up tempo. That's you do things like that to get into a system to give your quarterback a chance. We're not able to see Georgia's passing rush get home because there hasn't been a chance to do so. So in those small sample size, we haven't seen guys win the one-on-ones, Daniel. You're completely correct. What you just stated, I disagree with none of it. The sample size has been so small. Now come in Alabama. We're going to find out. This is something that I don't feel good heading into Alabama because we're going to know. Can Kristen Miller not only buckle the pocket, but get sacks? Can Chris Cole come off the edge? Can can he go ahead and get that motor running? Can Big Joe get going from the 3-tech? From that, like, I'm not saying it hasn't been there. Our defense, no. It hasn't been there because the sample size has been so dang small. Alabama does not run an up tempo. Alabama does not run a Tennessee style, and Alabama does want to pass the football. This is going to be our first chance. And if I'm a betting person, my bet it gets home this weekend. But to your point, I don't have anything to back that feeling other than trusting Kirby Smart's defensive ability. That's all I got right now, which doesn't feel good cutting into it. We're going to come back after this, let you know about our final thoughts against Ty Simpson. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Square. Look, certain businesses are truly make the neighborhood more. This episode brought to you by Square, your favorite neighborhood sports run on Square. The places that you bring people together and have fun within the community, that's who Square wants to support. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. Spending money at these businesses aren't just helping that business. It's helping the whole entire community. People that you live and work and play next to are being supported by you. Get over there right now. Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. Square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square, see you in the neighborhood.
All right, let me say this. I don't think Georgia's going to be 127th in the country in sack rate at the end of the year. Okay, so I do agree with you that there's been the teams that we've played and the systems that we've played again have contributed to that.
Yep.
I am going to poke a little bit about your trusting of Kirby Smart in this regard. Now, is Kirby Smart the greatest defensive mind in college football? Yes. Is he the best head coach in all of college football? Yes. Would every program in the country today trade their head coach in 1 second for Kirby Smart? Yes. Correct. Especially Alabama, double yes. So, no disagreement there. If you look at Georgia in terms of getting pressure on and sacking the quarterback, though, last year, 33rd in the country. 2023, 57th in the country. 2022, when Georgia won a national championship, 58th in the country. Even when Georgia's defenses are very good, Georgia still has not consistently been able to put a ton of pressure on the quarterback. 2021, 15th in the country, Georgia's best defense of all time. They were much better that year. As we recall, a lot of that was the combination of Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean blitzing up the middle. Also, Channing Tindall was on that team. I mean, that, loaded pass rush on that team. Georgia has struggled to rush the passer under Kirby Smart, period. Every single year, virtually, they've struggled to rush the passer. And so I do think with this particular thing, if you're going to hang your hat on, Ty Simpson is bad when he's pressured. And that's one of the reasons that Florida State was able to win that game. A, they scored 31 points against the Alabama defense. But B, they were able to hold Alabama offensively in check, due in large part because of their ability to get pressure on the quarterback. I don't know that Kirby has shown me a ton in years past that would allow me to get really excited about that. Are we going to see a big jump from Gabe Harris? Are we going to see a big jump from Big Joe? Are we going to see a big jump from some of these guys that, quite frankly, Georgia needs to become very effective pass rushers for them to consistently make hay in the backfield? I think it's going to be critical against Alabama because we're going to talk about this on a future episode, but you mentioned how bad the Alabama run game has been, Clint.
Real bad.
I think it's about to get better. I think the Alabama run game is about to get better. And so we're going to talk about that later in the week, so stay tuned about that. But if Alabama is able to run the ball, that's going to help out Ty Simpson a great deal.
1,000%.
Georgia's going to need to live in that backfield if they're going to have success on defense.
I think that this game is going to be the coming out party for the Georgia defense in a whole lot of ways. This is a get right game. This is more or less who we're going to see all year long. The Tennessees are behind us. The best offense that we will face is gone. Second half, we were much
What
better.
about Arch Manning?
Yeah.
You saw what he did to that. You saw what he did to that Sam Houston kid.
Texas fans are the new worst. It's not.
They are. Alabama fans, should we shake hands on this?
100%.
Texas fans are actually the worst.
Unequivocally. This is going to be coming out party for us. Best offenses we will face in the next coming weeks coming up. He is Daniel. I'm Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.